Father McAuliffe was born on January 16, 1922 in New York, New York. He is a veteran of World War II, where he fought over in Europe and all throughout the Pacific Ocean. He received the Purple Heart, which has been given to a soldier who has been wounded in battle. At age 34, Father McAuliffe was ordained as a priest. 10 years later, he found himself at Marian Catholic teaching part-time while serving at the local parish, St. Richard's in Barnesville. Father McAuliffe.
Thank you again. This is nice to come back again after all these years. I gotta tell you, I had a real happy time at Marian. That's because I didn't take the system seriously. That usually does. Many of the teachers don't act like I never said that. But we had a great time here. I used to tell the kids, I said, now look, I was supposed to teach theology. We didn't even have a book because the Second Vatican Council had just ended. And nobody knew what we believed. No one knew what we were supposed to believe. So we just tried to fill in the time with we thought things that were perfect and good. I hope we were right. No, they were great. I used to tell the kid, you don't tell on me, I don't tell on you. We got along really well. Anyway, give you some background. When I was 15, I decided I was bored. So I went down and joined the New York National Guard. I told them I was 17. This was back in the 30s, the 1930s, 35, 36, somewhere like that. And I had 2 years of military experience in the Guard. I didn't go overseas or anything. I was just Guard. The war hadn't even started yet. But anyway, I learned this from 2 years in the Guard. I learned two things. Number one, it was a cavalry outfit and they had horses. I learned I don't like horses. And I haven't liked them ever since. And I also learned that if I ever had to go in the military, I wasn't going to go in the Army. Besides, my dad would have been disappointed because he was a career naval officer. So, then the war broke out, and I went down. I was drafted. I didn't go down. I was drafted, and I was one of the first drafted. But down the draft board, they told me, look, we're not going to take you because you're studying Japanese, and we need Japanese speakers. I don't know. I thought about that. So 2 weeks later, I had thought it over, and I went back to the draft board, and I said, please take me. I would rather the Japs shoot at me than talk to me, because Japanese is a difficult language. So anyway, I went in the Navy, and they sent me to Annapolis. I only lasted about 5 months in Annapolis because I had trouble with my left eye. And in those days, you had to have perfect vision. You could not have vision that's correctable with glasses. Now you can. So I went as I got out. Then I went in as a sailor. They sent me to OCS, and then they sent me to Europe. I was in the amphibious forces. And I was basically navigation and gunnery. After I had started flight training, and that was good. I'm glad I got out of that. I'm glad we didn't see eye to eye with the superiors at flight school. So anyway, I went down. I became deck and gunnery officer and an LST. That's a big ship. An LST is about as long as a football field. They're big. They got those bow doors that open up and vomit forth tanks and men and equipment. And I was on that. We went in on D-Day itself. We went into Omaha Beach, and everything went wrong. I mean, everything went wrong with that beach. I think that was a horrendous mistake. fell on them, and I was impaled. And that is a painful experience, and that's a frightening experience when the ship is sinking underneath you, which it was. So anyway, I survived that. I survived it to go back again to France. I just wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to be part of that war again. So I grabbed a pocket full of candy bars, a flask of water, a pistol, and a submachine gun. And I hitched a ride back to the beach area. Now this was on, I got wounded on D-Day itself. But I went back again, I guess about D plus 8 or 9, so, but we hadn't moved inland very far at all. So I saw what the war was like from the other side, reading from the ground, not the sea. And it was a nice experience, I learned a lot. Then I was in lousy shape, incidentally. I wasn't thinking straight, and I couldn't do anything. I was really a physical mess, and I deteriorated to about 90 pounds. That's not much. I'm small, but even 90 pounds for a little guy like myself, that's pretty little bit. So when we got back to the States, well, I got wounded the second time while I was over there. I forgot to mention that. It's just another unfortunate circumstance. I got back to the States. I thought, well, I'm a mess. They're going to discharge me. No, they didn't. They sent me out to the Pacific. So I island hopped through the Pacific to the occupation of Japan. So that's the background. And then when I got out of the Navy, I decided I didn't know what I wanted to do. In all honesty, I didn't know whether I wanted to get married. I had likely candidates lined up. I didn't know. I didn't have a job. And I didn't want to have anything to do with people. I was an emotional mess and a physical mess. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go in the seminary. I'm going to get away from everybody. And nobody's going to bug me there. So I fled to the seminary, which was like fleeing to the cemetery. I admit that. But anyway, I got in there, and I was very much at home. Maybe I would have made a good mom, but anyway, I was very much at home. In those days, the seminary didn't wander very far at all. It was a monastic existence. So I enjoyed it there, and I think God wanted me to stay there, so I stayed. I was ordained, and here I am. Now, I have a couple of thoughts about military service. When you're drafted, you don't have many options. You go, period. And I was willing to go because I kind of believed in the cause. I'm not too sure about the wars we're in now, Iraq, Afghanistan, Panama, we invaded Panama, we invaded Grenada. I can't. I'm not comfortable with the government. At least I was comfortable with World War II. I learned something, and I think every guy needs to learn this. Things can happen to you when you're not impervious. I used to have this idea that nothing is going to get me